Okay, let's start with the next question. I mean, question number 6, we left it out because it's a proof question, and I thought about it, and there's no way you can make it into a multiple choice kind of a question. Okay, so there's no need to do that. So let's go to question number 7. Question number 7 is almost the same as what we have been doing, and yeah, we'll be doing only Roman number 1. Roman number 2 is like easy, so try it yourself. Okay, so given is cot theta is equal to 7 by 8, but in cot formula is what? Cot is the opposite of tan, and tan is perpendicular by base. So which means if we draw the triangle, base is 7, whatever it's on top is the base. So theta, we can put theta anywhere. I'll put theta here. Okay, you can name anything you want. So since theta is here, I put it here, the base will be here, and the perpendicular is 8. So we don't know hypotenuse, so we have to first find hypotenuse. So now that you know what it is, I'm going to do shortcut. Okay, h square equal to 8 square plus 7 square, because MCQ will say 64 plus 49, 3, 1, 10, 11. So this is root 113. Now this is what we're supposed to find out, right? So let me write the question again here so that we will not get confused. Anyway, just because this is trigonometry doesn't mean that we cannot apply algebraic formulas. Okay, so even if it's trigonometry, we can apply algebra also here. So if we apply algebra here, a plus b into a minus b is what? Let me write the formula here, in case, because some of you might actually have forgotten this formula also. It's one of the most used formula. A plus b into a square into minus b square is a plus b into a minus b. So a plus b into a minus b will also be equal to a square minus b square. So in this case, we can apply that formula here, taking this as a and this is b. So it's like a plus b, a minus b. Same case here, a plus b, a minus b. So a plus b, a minus b is a square, which is 1 square minus sine square. 1 square minus see, writing sine square theta and writing cos theta the whole square, it's the same thing. Okay, it doesn't matter how you write. Okay, because when you square it, it'll become like this only. So let's put the value of sine here. So I'm not finding out separately since you all know how to do now though. So I'm just going to write some people is what in this case perpendicular. So sine, I'll just write here one last time. Sine is perpendicular by hypotenuse, right? In this case, perpendicular is opposite to the angle, which is 8. So 8 by hypotenuse is root 113, the whole square. By now, the formula should be in your fingertips. Okay. Now 1 minus cos square. Cos is curly brown here. So base 7 by hypotenuse whole square. So now that we're done with that, we don't need this anymore. So let's just solve this. So if you square this, you'll get 64. Then root and square cancels out always. I hope you know that by now. I've taught that almost many times. So if I take LCM here, so 113 minus 64 by 113, 3 minus, oh this is 49, sorry, 7 square is 49, 49 by 113. We can cut the 113 and 113. So if you subtract this, you'll get 49, and if you subtract this, you'll get 64. I guess that's it. So that's the solution. Now let's go to question number 9, because I'm gonna be question number 8, and then question number 9 I'm gonna skip it. You're gonna try it yourself. It's quite easy. Okay, even this is easy, but let's just do it. So 3 cot A equal to 4. So cot A, 3, we can send it this side, it'll become 4 by 3. So cot A is, I'll just write directly, okay, opposite of tan. Tan is permanently black. So reciprocal of tan is P by B. So if you draw the diagram, since A is this, I'm going to draw the A here. So that the perpendicular becomes this, base becomes this. It's more familiar this way for me. Like just for me, like you don't have to do that. Okay, so base is 4, perpendicular is 3. Since it's a, the opposite to a will be the perpendicular. So we have to find hypotenuse. AC equal to root over, or AC square equal to 3 square plus 4 square. AC equal to 9 plus 16. AC equal to root 25 equal to 5. So we're getting this 5. Now we have to do 1 minus. We have to prove this. Okay. So I'm gonna take LHS first. LHS is 1 minus 10 square by 1 plus 10 square. So what is 10 square? I'll do LHS here and I'll do RHS here. Okay. So 10 is perpendicular by base. In this case, perpendicular is this. So 1 minus 3 by 4 square by 1 plus 3 by 4 square. And then RHS also, let's just write it out. Cos square A minus sine square A. So cos is curly brown here, base hypotenuse, curly brown here, minus some people have, so perpendicular by hypotenuse, people have. So let's solve and go. So this will become 1 minus, which is a 9 by 4 for 16 by 1 plus 9 by 16. This should become 16 minus 9 by 16 divided by 16 plus 9 by 16. 16 we can cut, which leaves us 8. 16 minus 9 is what? 7 by this one 25. So we're getting that. Let's try to solve this also. 16 by 25 minus 9 by 25. 16 minus 9 by 25 is 7 by 25. So 7 by 25, 7 by 25. Since LHS is equal to RHS, the answer will be yes. Is it equal to this or not? So yes, it is equal to this. So that's it. Okay. So question number 9 is also done exactly the same. Try it on your own. If you have doubt, do let me know. We'll see what we can do. I'll write the notes or explain also in case it's pretty confusing. So let's do question number 10. In triangle PQR. So let's draw a triangle PQR first. Right angle at Q. So the right angle should be at Q. So P and R, we can name it anywhere. PR plus QR. See, this is not PR also, it's not QR also. They're saying it's PR plus QR is 25. So right here they give me 2. We can't do anything right now. PQ, they've given us 5, and PQ is not here also. Otherwise we could have just subtracted like this. So in all these questions that we have done so far, what is the first step that we always do? We always use Pythagoras theorem to find the thing. So Pythagoras to line. So let's use that also here. So if we use Pythagoras theorem, PR square, because we're assuming that this is 90 degrees, so PR square equal to PQ square plus QR square. Right? So PQ is given. Let's put PQ 5. So these two are unknown, so I'm going to keep the unknowns together, and 5 is 25. But what is a square minus b square? You know that a square minus b square is, just now we just did it in the previous question, a plus b, a minus b. Like I've already told you, it's not like a plus b, a minus b, take it and b. Here a square minus b square. If there's a square minus b square, we can make it like this also. Yes. But when you're writing like this, what you'll notice is that here something is written here which is PR plus QR, and here also the same thing is written there, PR plus QR. So since PR plus QR is 25, instead of PR plus QR, can I write 25 or not? Yes. 25 dikho porna bonna. So we're left with this PR minus QR. And since this is multiplication, bracket la power, so it's multiplication. So I can literally cut this and this. Because if I say 25 here, it will become division and 25 cut here. So 25 1 25 1. And 1 into anything is same, so PR minus QR equal to 1. So see, we have finished chapter 3, right? And when something is of the form like this, x plus y or x minus y equal to 7 equal to 8, we do substitution, right? We do like this, adding, subtracting. It's like that only. See, we have PR plus QR is 25, and then we have PR minus QR is 1. So it's the same thing, PR, QR, QR. The only sign is different, plus, minus, and then we have different numbers. So we can add and subtract these two to get the values of PR and QR. So that's what I'm going to do, okay? So, given PR plus QR equal to 25. So let's make this equation 1, 2, adding 1 and 2. So PR minus QR equal to 1. PR plus QR equal to 25. If we add these two, we can cut these two, so 2 PR equal to 26. Excuse me. PR equal to 13. So we're getting PR is 13. So since PR we got 13, we can now put this in equation 1 or 2. So putting PR in, you can put it in 1 or 2. Anyone. I'll just write it in 2 since it's plus simple. So equation 2 was what? PR plus QR equal to 25. So instead of PR, I can put 13 plus QR equal to 25. More longer like asti on a Korean jazz, don't short 12. So this is 12. QR is 12. But the main question is, what are they asking? They're asking us to find sine P, cos P, and tan P, right? And since we have all the three sides now, we can easily find sine P, cos P, and tan P. So therefore, sine P equal to what some people have, perpendicular by hypotenuse. According to P, okay, so sine P, you have to always look at this, okay, what it is. So P though it was no, to tell our opposite to K is perpendicular, which is 12, hypotenuse is 13. Cos P, curly brown here, base will be 5, hypotenuse is 13. Right, and then we have one last 10 P, perpendicular by base, perpendicular in this case 12, base is 5. So that's it. So let me just show you the answers. Excuse me. That's the answers. Now we will be doing the what do you call it? True or false. Okay. So state whether the following are true or false. The given value of, see, this type of questions is very important regarding, like, since we know that it's going to be MCQ. Ito kata-kata questions ka na. So based on this, it might come, or it might even come like this one. This is true or false. Ekta MCQ types na. The value of tan A is always less than 1. So what do you understand by that? It's like like in a triangle, the trigonometric ratios are the ratio of the sides of a triangle, right? So if the sides of a triangle, this is the, like, suppose this is theta or A. So according to this angle, this will be perpendicular, this will be base, and this will be height. So when I say tan A, it means the formula of tan is turned permanently black, perpendicular by base. So perpendicular by base, is there any way of us knowing that perpendicular should always be longer than base, or base should be longer than perpendicular? No, right? So we have no way of knowing if one is longer or one is shorter. So we cannot say if it's less than 1, because it might be less than 1 sometimes, or it may be more than 1. For example, let me show you the example. If perpendicular is 3 and base is 2, okay, perpendicular is 3 and base is 2, then 10a will be 3 by 2, which is, if you cut, 1.5, so which is more than 1. But if perpendicular is 2 and base is 3, then 10a will be 2 by 3, perpendicular base 2 by 3, which is 0 0.66 dot 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 dot. So 0 0.6 is less than 1, 1.5 is more than 1. So we cannot actually say which one is, if it's going to be less than 1 or more than 1. So since they're saying always less than 1, it's false. But in exam it might not come as true or false, but it might actually come as like it's false, it's true, or like it's true and then they'll give another option false. If it's false because or reason false because reason activo, then you have to choose the correct reason. So this is the reason why. Okay, so Roman number 2, sec a equal to 12 by 5 for some value of angle A. Sec A is equal to 12 by 5. So sec to क्या है? Sec was the opposite of what? Cos, right? So cos we know is curly brown hair. So reciprocal of that. So h by b. So they're saying sec is 12 by 5 for some value. So yes, it might be true because in a triangle, as long as the hypotenuse is the longest side, we don't care if the base is 5 or 7 or 9 or 11, right? As long as the hypotenuse is the longest side. But if they have given us that for some value sec A is 5 by 12, then it would have been false because the hypotenuse can never be shorter than the base. But since in this case the hypotenuse is longer and base is shorter, it might have a value of 12 by 5 for some value of A. So this is true. You have to understand the concept behind it, okay? Just it's not just what true or false. Cos A is the abbreviation used for cosecant of angle A. False. You know that cos A full form is cosine, right? Cot A is a product of cot and A. That's also false because when you say cot A, it's just the indication of the angle used. It's not the actual value, but the indication of the angle used. Like when I even when I write cot 30 degree, it literally means I'm using the 30 degree as a base to find out the ratio of the triangles. So it doesn't mean this two is product of these two, but it's just like this. This is indicating this kind of a thing. Okay, so it's false. Sine theta is 4 by 3 for some angle theta. So they're saying sine equal to 4 by 3. But what is sine? Some people have, and what they are telling in the previous question also, the hypotenuse cannot be smaller than the perpendicular because hypotenuse is always going to be the longest side. So if the question was 3 by 4, then yes, it might have been, but since the question is saying 4 by 3 where hypotenuse is longer, shorter than the perpendicular, so no, which means false. Understood? So you have to understand the reason why it's true or false. If you don't understand, do ask me, I'll let you know. Anyway, I'll explain the concept of exercise 8.2 and then we'll do the start the exercise in the next class. So suppose consider an equilateral triangle. This is an equilateral triangle, okay, where all sides are equal. And let's say the sides are of the measurement 2a, 2a, and 2a. It's not like you have to take 2a, but I took 2a because it's easy to separate those two into a and a. Otherwise, you can take 4a, you can take 8a, or you can take even a only. But then when you're separating, you'll have to take a by 2 and a by 2. But since 2a only easy, I don't know 2a. But no matter what you take, you will get the same answer or same result. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's an equilateral triangle. I just took it 2a. So if all the sides are 2a and I join this altitude, which is 90 degree, then in an equilateral triangle, these two triangles become concurrent. Concurrent means exactly the same. Why it doesn't become concurrent? Because all the angles in an equilateral triangle are always going to be 60 degree. So both these angles are 60 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, and this side and this side is same. So they become concurrent. So hence even this side and this side will be same. So let's name this something A, B, C. Let's name this D. Okay, let's say this is D. I hope you can see this. So the middle point is D. So even BD and DC should become same since they are concurrent. And since they are concurrent, this angle and this angle should also be same. And when I said in an equilateral triangle, all the angles are 60 degree. And if this angle is 60 degree, and I'm saying that this angle and this angle is same, it literally means what? This angle is 30 and this angle is 30. Concept. So we took an equilateral triangle, we drew altitude, which is 90 degree. And since we draw a 90 degree, these two triangles becomes concurrent. So since it's concurrent, this will be 60, 60, 30, 30, and these two sides will also be same. So now we have a triangle, two triangles inside the equilateral triangle, which is ADB and ADC. Now, I told you that sine is the ratio of perpendicular to the hypotenuse, right? So now I'll draw one of the triangles here. Let's take the triangle, this one, A, B, and D. We have 2A as a measurement here, and we have A is a measurement here. So I want to find out AD. Okay, so if I want to find out AD, what should I do? I have to use Pythagoras theorem. So AB square equal to AD square plus BD square. AB square means 2A the whole square equal to AD, we don't know, BD is A square. So 2A square is 4A square minus this A square goes inside, it becomes A square, so AD square. So 3A square equal to AD square. So AD square, you send it aside, it becomes root 3A square. And then root 3 will be there because A square, you can come out from the square root and become single A. So AD is root 3A. So this is root 3A. Okay. So we have all the measurements now. The middle line is root 3A meters long. See, it does not matter what you take. Okay, you can literally take 8A also, 16A also, 32A, or you can even take odd numbers like 1. You can literally take this A. You will get the same answer, root 3A. You can try it on your own. If you take this A, this A by 2, you'll get the same thing. Okay, so sine theta means perpendicular by hypotenuse. We know that. So it depends on which theta it is to determine which is the perpendicular. We already know which is the hypotenuse. Since it's 90 degree, this will be hypotenuse. So sine, if I'm taking B, sine B, this will become perpendicular, okay? But in this case, B is what? 60 degree, right? So sine 60 degree equal to perpendicular is this root 3 by A by hypotenuse is 2A. A cut it off, we're getting sine 60 equal to root 3 by 2. So when I say that, what do you understand by that term? It literally means that if for any measurement, doesn't matter how big of a triangle or how small of a triangle it is, for any measurement, if you draw a right angle triangle and if you draw a 60 degree on one of its sides, then the ratio of the perpendicular to the hypotenuse will always be root 3 by 2. Always. To you know, A, B chart way, to you measurement equal. You draw a right angle triangle with your on scale, okay, scale compass will first draw a right angle triangle and draw a 60 degree with any measurement. As you can make the triangle as big as you want or as small as you want, but you have to make a 90 degree and a 60 degree. After drawing the 60 degree, measure the perpendicular, then measure the hypotenuse, divide those two, you'll get root 3 by 2. Okay, that's what it means. So sine 60 will always be root 3 by 2. So what about sine 30? Sine 30 degree is, some people have, but remember 60 degree was here, now 30 degree we're taking it here. So if this is 30 degree, then opposite to this becomes perpendicular. So this is A by hypotenuse is 2A. A you cut, you'll get 1 by 2. So sine 30 is 1 by 2. So just like that, we can find the value of cos 30, cos 60, tan 30, tan 60, sec, cosec, cot, sec, everything. Okay. So I'm just like, this is not important. Okay. This is like, it will not come for exam most probably. So, but then I wanted you to know from where the values of sine 30, cos 30, all this stuff are coming out, and like student machine बुझ्यो sin 60 root 3 by 2 आसे गर्न सिकाइदिए मेमोराइज कोइले उले किले root 3 by 2 itu नि जानिन पहिले के न. So this is the reason why. So in case like I just want you to understand the concept pretty well. That's why I'm showing you that. Okay, now let me show you how to memorize the values of, because you have to memorize no matter what. This is how you actually find out the values of sine 30, 60, and there's also value methods into how you can find sine 45 and sine 90 and sine 0 and all those stuff. But then it's not like I've already told you, it's not that important. It's just that I wanted you to know from where it comes from, at least one of them. It only it on beside key last day constant minus, like for example sine 60 degree will always be root 3 by 2 in the ratio. Sine 30 degree will always be perpendicular perpendicular hypotenuse ratio. Sine 30 degree draw it'll always be, the hypotenuse will always be double of the perpendicular, or 1 by 2. So these ratios are coming from somewhere. Okay, and those ratios you will have to memorize. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, I'll show you a very easy method to memorize. So to memorize sine 30, so there's only 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. We can find out like physically drawing Korean corona. We can only find this out. Sine 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. But we can make like for example I can find out sine 75 degree just by adding like sine 30 plus 45. It's a complicated trigonometry, as like in case you're wondering, it's very complicated trigonometry. You'll be studying all those stuff in class 9 if class 11 if you take scientific trigonometry. Okay, but for the time being you just need these things, so you don't have to think so far ahead. You just have to think about this. So if you want to memorize the value of sine, all you have to do is this. Asal memorize quickly. If you cannot, you write divide by 2, divide by 2 in everything. 0, 30, 45, 60, 90, everything, and then root over, start from 0. Root over 0, root over 1, root over 2, root over 3, root over 4. So root over 0. So here. Root over 0 is 0. So 0 divided by 2 is 0, which is sine 0 degree is, which means it's 0. Okay, and root over 1 means whatever, it's 1. So root over 1 is 1 only. Divide by 2 is 2. So sine 30 is 1 by 2. Root over sine 45 is root 2 by 2. So if we rationalize this, root 2 by root 2 multiply root 2 into root 2 is 2, and this becomes 2 root 2. So 2 you cut, you'll be left with 1 by root 2. So sine 45 is 1 by root 2. So it's just including 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in edge as they. 60 degree you cannot do anything, cut or anything, so you just write this root 3 by 2. And then sine 90 degree, root 4 is what? Root 4 is 2, right? 2 to the 4 to 2 as well. 2 root 4 2 means 2 by 2, which is 1. So this is 1. That's one way to memorize the values of sine 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. But it is better to memorize it. Okay, it is shortcut. Besides, no one memorize. So it's better to memorize the values of sine, cos, and tan. But if you cannot memorize this, you can use this method also. And if you can't memorize the value of cos, tan, then here's another method to keep memorize the values. Okay, but this method you will have to go in exam, and then exam start to rough paper you will have to draw the table by yourself. First, jalo table to draw in values. So drawing the table is easy. There's a method to this. So as soon as you write the sine values of sine, you're gonna start for cos. You're gonna start writing from this one. So 1 root 3 by 2 1 by root 2, 1 by 2, and 0. So you just, this comes here, this comes here, this comes here, this comes here, this comes here. It's quite easy. Okay, so which means cos 30 and sine 60 is same, 45 same, 30 sine 30 and cos 60 is same, and 0 and 90 is same. Okay, so that's how you remember to draw the table if you want, if you don't know the table. Now In order to find 10, you have to divide this by this. So 0 divided by 1 is 0. Anything divided by 0 divided by anything is 0. If you divide this to 1 by 2 by root 3 by 2, you can cut the 2 and 2. What's left? 1 by root 3. So 1030 is 1 by root 3. 1045, if you just have to divide sin theta by cos theta, okay? For all the values of 10, if you divide these two, you get 1. If you divide these two, 2 we can cancel it, so you get root 3. And then one more thing you have to remember is anything divided by 0 is undefined. It's like an invalid number in maths, okay? Anything divided by 0. So why it's like that is because if you divide 0 by something, okay, 0 into, no matter what number you put, the answer will always be 0. So 0 into anything is always 0. So remainder I they go, which is not jai they go, it's invalid. So undefined. So that's how you find 10. So first cos you write from first sign. In order of first sign, find the values of sign, you do this, and once you find the value of sign, you reverse and write and go. And then for 10 you divide these two and write. And as for cosec, you just reciprocal these things. So reciprocal of 0, reciprocal means 1 la nechi te pothai dibo. Itu is there. You have to remember it. Reciprocal means sending something under 1. So if you send under 1 0, 0, anything divided by 0 is undefined. If you reciprocal this, you will get 2, because 1 by 2 becomes 1 into 2 by 1, so 2. Okay, so reciprocal of root 3 by 2 is root 2, or 1 by root 2. This is 2 by root 3. This is reciprocal of 1 is 1, so you are sending 1 under 1, so 1. So the same technique will apply for sec. Let me just write sec here, clear space there. How sine and cos relationship is working, just like that cosec and sec will also work. So, or you can do cos law reciprocal, or you can just write simply from this side, 1 2 by root 3 root 2 2 undefined. Okay, and as for cot, you can do this division, or you can just write the reciprocal of 10. So 0 reciprocal is undefined, 1 by root 3 reciprocal is root 3, 1 reciprocal is 1, root 3 reciprocal is 1 by root 3. Undefined la reciprocal is undefined la reciprocal to see 0 la reciprocal undefined reciprocal, undefined la reciprocal to 0. So that's it. That's how you draw the table. So in case you can't memorize the table, you have to go in the exam hall and then draw the table yourself first in a rough paper, and then be ready for exam before you get your question paper and all, so that you can copy the values directly.